Before we get to it, let me just apologize for the lack of uploads the last few days. As you surely know, the internet has been a pretty disgusting place, to say the least. Both with this horrific clip going around, very, very graphic clip of what happened to Charlie Kirk, and many people celebrating what happened. And while I'm really not that familiar with Charlie Kirk, I've seen like maybe 10 minutes of Charlie Kirk clips randomly my entire life. I can certainly say that the clip is disturbing, and what happened to him is disgusting. And as someone who has personally dealt with violence and death in real life, this sort of environment that the internet's been recently is not the sort of environment that I want to engage with. And as such, I've spent the last few days mostly off the internet, not fully, but more than I have in a while. And instead spending extra time training with my Muay Thai team and at the gym, because that's the sort of thing that makes me feel better during these sort of times, to say, to put it like that, I should say. And yeah, that's what I did. But now I'm back, and we've got a number of modern audience type game devs celebrating the violence and then very quickly finding out. Legal Mindset 3 hours ago said OSHA is step 1 to clean up corporate America and investigate extremists celebrating death. Strong legal precedent, HR can't minimize it, reporting can be done anonymously, and it doesn't have the cost of a lawsuit. It's free. Act now if you see a credible threat in the US. Asmon had responded saying, "This is great insight. Honestly, I didn't know how strong some of these systems were. Look forward to sharing this information in future videos." And the reason for this exchange between Legal Mindset and Asmon is, as mentioned, people are collecting what a number of these modern audience devs have been saying on their social media accounts. And they tend to be saying this stuff over on Blue Sky, which takes us over to the next part of the video.
I was just fired from my job! I was just fired from my job! I have nothing! I have nothing anymore!
I don't know the full context to that one for sure, but people are saying this is one of the individuals who was advocating for violence on social media and then got reported. Moving on from that, we've now got Crystal talking about this Final Fantasy XIV localizer, yeah, no surprise there, named Kate. And Kate had the bright idea to repost a take from Michael, a disgusting take, as a matter of fact, where Michael and the people agreeing with Michael and signal boosting Michael, reposting Michael, you get the point. Well, they're advocating for a purge of people that they dislike. And you know how these individuals are. They dislike 99% of people, if not more. And they try to justify their violence and hate by falsely accusing people. Like I said, we all know how these sort of people operate. But here's what happened next. Kate's in panic mode as people began to take a look for what Kate was saying and other devs were saying on Blue Sky, and then talking about what they were saying on Twitter and reporting them to higher-ups. Kate then went on to say, "Regarding leaving Blue Sky, I'll try to find who I can elsewhere before I ultimately cannonball into the void, but moots are welcome to DM me for my Discord too. Probably should have remembered to post this a while. The rest of the world was awake, but if you want to delete old posts to prevent trolls from crawling them, this tool is what I use." And when I was initially reading up on it, people said it sometimes doesn't work with account handle rather than email. It has reliably worked for email with me. Also, if you're deleting a lot of posts, it'll take time due to rate limits. Don't forget to save the job code if you want to check up on it. These people are in real time enacting damage control for the horrible things that they've been saying. And, you know, these sort of people also often advocate for people to be held accountable for what they say, but here they are running and hiding, not taking accountability for the things that they've said. That takes us to Pyro Nation, who said the Ghost of Yotai dev who celebrated what happened to Charlie Kirk has been fired, because I believe they removed Ghost of Yotai from their bio, and then they made this tweet talking about losing their dream job. Now, Asmon and others would question if this person really did get fired, considering that they may have just made that tweet and changed their bio to try and take some of the heat off them, making it look like they got fired when they may not have actually been fired. So who knows for sure. I also realized I said tweet when that was a Blue Sky post. I'm still getting used to making that distinction, my bad. Nevertheless, Smash JT provided some more interesting insight into this Drew dev person, saying Drew Harrison, who worked on Ghost of Yotai, was allegedly let go from Sucker Punch Productions today for comments about Charlie Kirk. It posted on LinkedIn how much it hates beautiful women being represented in video games. Explains a lot. And so let's take a look at this. My gosh, what do we got here? I find it interesting that when discussions around how games deal with sexualizing characters, it is almost always men discussing how women are depicted in games. This entire thread is men weighing in on how to reach a middle ground on how to make characters that they find physically attractive. There is no balance because the industry is still heavily skewed by being cis-het male-dominated. Even your example shows the real-life woman fully clothed in a jumpsuit while the character is in her underwear showing under boob. You've literally turned the person who looks and moves like a living person into a stylized Barbie in her underwear. The physical attractiveness of characters such a moot point to creating a good game. Well, it's actually not. It definitely is not a moot point at all. I mean, take a look at what happened to Concord. Because contextually, any game that features characters heavily, so not really like grand strategy, RTS games, etc., obviously, but games like RPGs and hero shooters, as mentioned, games that are more individually character-centric, well, it's no coincidence that people often make attractive characters when they have character creation options. Sometimes you see people go very far in the other direction and make ugly characters to meme around with, but it's very common that when people take creation seriously, they end up making attractive characters. So with Concord, going back to that really quick, I think the price point was also a factor, among other things, for why that game is historically one of the biggest disasters in gaming of all time. But clearly, having a hero roster of ugly, boring weirdos in a hero shooter game, well, that was a terrible decision. And Drew here seems to think that it's a moot point, that such things don't actually matter, which is peak delusion. And there's nothing wrong with attractive characters. It's actually extremely bizarre that the modern audience is so offended by this concept. And so here we have Kirsha responding to Asmon, where Asmon said, if you guys want to make a list, if I have time tomorrow, I can put them all together in a video with links to their employers. Kirsha says, Asmon asking for a list of game devs celebrating or condoning what happened to Charlie Kirk. And if you have any posts or videos anywhere, please reply to him with them. Where someone was offended by this, it seems. This user saying, I'm not condoning what happened, but it's so ironic that these guys have waged war on cancel culture and then continued the same behaviors, same exact playbook. They condemned people being fired over edgy opinions online, just to turn around and do it when their turn came. Well, they really shouldn't be crying about this, considering that these modern audience types literally made this set of rules where they utilize cancel culture and openly advocate using it. But hey, now that people are playing by the rules that they set, they're suddenly all mad. They're all upset and fearful about that. It's very much a rules for thee, but not for me sort of moment. So yeah, people are continuing to compile more lists of individuals who are advocating for violence, especially in the gaming sector. For example, Bethesda here, and a Bethesda producer, which Madam Savvy tweeted about, getting a response from Elon Musk who says, wow. And Madam Savvy going on to mention that she's documented many more here from various major companies. Asmongold would go on to say, in regards to a video he posted about reporting these sort of individuals, that this is episode 1, by the way. I will continue to do this until they are all gone, or the companies that protect them have their reputations destroyed beyond repair. Keep joining the Twitter community. Keep sharing the post. It's working even faster than I anticipated. And that's where I'll close this video for today. But hope you all enjoyed this one, and thank you for tuning in to my 2-day off return video. Appreciate the support as always, and if you enjoyed this coverage, you enjoyed my coverage, consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate you. See you in the comments here. Keep up the great work. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.